So we had a student program that was parallel to the whole other program. And the student program was a hackathon, a hack challenge with 5 teams that will be presenting their cases. But we have also a second part, and that's the IoT Student Award that we started last year for the first time. And we decided this year to do it in 2 rounds. So we had 8 nominees, 8 entries or 9. I don't know the last account. Okay. But there was a pre-round with posters, and 3 of them were nominated now to do the presentation on stage. And Dries will announce which teams, because they don't know yet. And they will do the presentation then after the pitches of the hackathon. That's Ashley will introduce. But first, the nominees.
Okay, so in order for the 3 teams that have been nominated to pitch and to mentally prepare before hopping on stage and do your 5-minute pitches, we selected based on, is the problem worth solving? And does the solution, or does the solution space address a topic related to responsible design? That were our main criteria to do this selection. Out of the 7 applicants, we chose 3, and I will just announce them in random order. The first one was the one who did something with IoT and retail. Is that person in the room? Okay, at the very back. The second one was Shelter Suit. Are they here? Okay. And then the third one is Kahu, or Kehu, or Kahu. I want to thank all of the teams for taking the time to make the submission, taking the time to present. Unfortunately, we can only do 3 pitches, of course, but thank you so much for taking part in the IoT Award that we hand out. Thank you.
Yeah, and now I'd like to give the mic to Ashley. Ashley was doing all the coordination of the hackathon today, pitches, whatever, so she's really into it now, and you're going to give a lot, I'll give you the mic.
Yes. All right. So I've been down in the basement with the students all day, having a great time working on a challenge given to us by BlueCity. Naturally, how to make this building smarter. They had 3 specific challenges that they tackled. One is to regulate the wood stove in the basement so that it properly heats the restaurant Aloha next door, or within the building, based upon the outside and indoor temperatures. 2 is also something we all love to do, is optimize the coffee machine and try to make it more circular. Good luck. And 3 is make the pool windows smarter. So there's windows out in the back that have this very old system of opening and closing. How can we make them autonomous? All right, so first group is up.
Okay, so we created AutoVent, which basically regulates the opening and closing of the pool room windows. This was for the challenge, make these windows smarter and more autonomous. My name's Ryan, over there's Nick and Beretta. Oh, that's a little bit fast. So our problem was that currently the system of opening and closing these massive windows is very, manual. It requires a lot of lever pulling in the boiler room where there's basically this big compressor. And if you can show it. Yeah, so there's basically this old big boiler, and it's extremely manual and old. So what we came up with, the solution we found was, why don't we just attach some motors to it, some autonomous motors, which can all, talk to each other and can connect to this web server. This web server starts pulling weather data and from indoor sensors and from weather APIs. And based on that, makes them a little bit more autonomous. It tells them, well, for this certain temperature, we don't need the windows open, or we do. And it's relayed back to these valve actuators, which then start opening and closing the windows. You can also see metrics and statistics and manually control it, if you like, through a web interface, which we can demo right now. So yeah, we built this little web interface on which you can see, current inside temperature, current outside temperature. You can also, on the top left, see where you can change manually the value of it. If you don't like what it's doing, you can manually change the value, and it will start changing these actuators. We have an example actuator here, which is a little bit slow because it's in deep sleep mode, so it can preserve a lot of energy. You don't want to have to change these out, or the batteries on them anyway, every 10 days. So it's a little bit slower, but they work just fine. It does weather forecasting. If you want to, anticipate bad weather, you can close them preemptively according to that data. And that was kind of our autonomous little solution to our problem. Yeah, thank you.
A second, please. Oh, it's synchronized. Hello, everybody. We are 4 students from Germany of University of Applied Science Darmstadt. And we are first semesters, so be gentle. And our team is, we call it Wind and Blue. And this is the BlueCity from above. And it looks like the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars. And we got the same challenge like the team before. And we thought we can change the windows and make them smart. So we did it like that. They would look like, and yeah.
So basically, we split the windows into these single parts and make them rotate in 360 degrees. So how do we make these smart? So for this, we have different sensors to measure temperature, wind strength, wind direction, humidity, and much else. And how all this works will be shown by Nicholas through this kind of prototype we did.
Okay, yeah, as you said, this is a very simple prototype, which is to simulate the situation that we would have. So this little guy is our sensor that can actually track the humidity and the temperature of the air. And this is the organ that can process the information and send it to the computer. And
okay, so now we show some examples of what the windows do in different situations. So if you want to just change the air but don't want to cool down the whole place, the windows arrange like this, so the air doesn't get pushed down to cool all down. So in this next situation, you want to cool it down. So now the windows arrange like this. And yeah, we also thought if there's no wind and the windows can rotate, why don't we make our own wind in warm summer days? And we thought of a little extra, like transparent solar panels on the windows, so the windows can arrange in perfect position to catch all the light and produce energy. So that was it. Thank you for your attention.
All right, next team, next group.
Hello, everyone. May I have your attention, please? I know we are all very tired. It was such a long day, wasn't it? So here I am to tell you that we're going to take a little bit break, a coffee break. Here, we don't need that. So imagine we're going to take a coffee break. I've heard that here in this building, you have like a flat rate coffee, right? You pay like a monthly amount of money and you can have so much coffee as you want, right? But I heard also that this is not going to be for such a long time. I think you're going to have to pay for every single coffee you're going to have. I'm so sorry about that. But what if I'm here to tell you that this is not so bad at all? Maybe we have another solution for you, and maybe we can make it a lot more interesting and a lot more fun. What if I tell you that you can pay with your cup now? But not only pay with your cup, but also ensure or develop or help a love story develop. Who doesn't like love stories? We all love love stories, don't we? So, a coffee love stories. Let's take our mugs and coffee cups that we already have, because we don't want to make new of them. We have plenty of them, a lot of them. Let's take those that we already have. So, then we suggest to wear them with this adaptable but yet simple rubber band. This rubber band is going to be equipped with an NFC chip, and this chip is there for two reasons. There is a good reason and a bad reason, a boring reason and a very interesting reason. So, I'm just being honest. The boring reason is going to be the paying process. So, we use this chip in order, you can charge your coffee cup with the chip through the coffee machine. Coffee machine? Yeah. So every time you go to have a coffee, you don't need to have cash with you. You just only have to put your coffee mug there, and then it's going to happen automatically. And if you don't have enough cash, or if you don't have enough amount of money in your cup, you just have to put cash money, and then you have money for a long time. I'm going to stop about this. The beauty of this cup is going to be the love story. Remember the one I was telling you about? Before, the love story between your rubber band mug and the coffee machine. You know, when you are newly in love and everything about this particular person looks brighter and shiner, and you get happy, it's just being close to him or her, and then this love music plays in the background. The same happened with the rubber band mugs and the coffee machine. They become brighter and brighter when they get closer to each other, and this beautiful melody plays in the background. Isn't this such a rewarding and wonderful and interesting love story? This makes my mood automatically so much better. And that's what we want to achieve. We want to make your coffee break another whole happy and rewarding experience. Thank you so much. So I have a very, very brief thing. We are Thea, Lily, and Lotte. Thank you so much.
Wow, I'll never look at a coffee machine the same way again. Okay, our next group.
Okay, hi guys. We would like to introduce our concept, the Blue Hive. We are 5 students from the University of Technology in Eindhoven and 1 student from Delft, 4 from Eindhoven. And we were working on a smart energy awareness system. So the problem statement that we started with was that it's difficult to distinguish the energy consumption of each participant in this building, so each individual company, and also the lack of awareness of the energy consumption of both individual companies and the building as a whole. So our goal was to make the occupants of the BlueCity building more aware of their energy consumption through the visualization of their relative consumption and a suggestion system to give suggestions on energy-saving behavior. So this system consists of a visualization of the collective energy consumption in the entrance hall of the building and a tangible interaction with the heating system in each office space. So this is the tangible interaction in each office space, and it allows you to control your room temperature through the tangible interaction, and it visualizes, while you interact with it, the relative impact of your action on the room changing temperature through light.
So when you see now, you're quite you have a positive influence on the energy consumption. But I can try, or I have a negative. Sorry, I have a negative influence. Where's the negative? Yes. And now when I say, "Hey Snips, can you give me a suggestion?"
Tomorrow will be quite chilly. Bring a sweater.
Okay, so that was the last part. You can ask for and receive suggestions on how to change your behavior to save more energy. So the collective visualization, it visualizes the relative energy consumption of each company that is here. And yeah, it relates to the other companies. It shows you the factual saving energy that you save from the previous day or that you lost. And the visualization was inspired by the wood snippets that are being used in the wood stove, because the wood stove is what all the heating generates for this building.
Yeah, so when I turn like the heat on, it becomes more red, and you also see that my part of the visualization in the entrance hall becomes smaller, so I have a less good influence on the energy efficiency, while when I turn heat down a bit, I also get the feedback. I have a better influence, so it's becoming more green, and also my part of the screen becomes bigger with also more trees, so I get a bigger picture in the whole building.
So where do we get our data of all the energy? The data from each individual company goes through an actuator on the radiator, and the total energy consumption comes from a sensor in the wood stove. And the impact of our concept through this increased awareness on the consumption of the participants, we want to create a more efficient way of managing the existing heating system. So thank you for listening.
All right. We have one more group.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Frank. This is Danilo. We're from the Academy of Communications and Multimedia Design from Avans University in Breda. The thing is, we learn to design in various of situations, which can vary from web design to graphical design, but also interaction design. And we really learn to think outside the box, and that's also what we did today. You don't see a fancy prototype here. Yeah, you notice it. Sorry, I'm having a bit of a cold. We started thinking about those technologies. We also thought of NFC in a cup to create a payment system, and also maybe an image recognition program which recognizes the mug of a person and then subtracts some money from their account. But we weren't getting really inspired of that. We would like to, yeah, we were like, we need to get deeper into this problem to really understand what is going on. And we saw technology like a band-aid solution. We, don't get me wrong, we love technology, but it's not always best to think of it first as your first solution. So yeah, that explains the slide. Thank you very much. I'm going. Yes. Yeah, we analyzed the question, and this part of the question, they asked for a circular, more circular process with getting coffee. So that means that it accounts for more environmental durability, so that maybe reusing a cup is a solution there. But also, oh, only 1 minute. Damn, that goes quick. Anyway, we thought of a quick solution with coffee filters, but we thought it was way more interesting to go into the psychology of getting coffee. And then Danilo is going to tell you more about that.
Yeah, so talking about a circular way, most of the time we get coffee, it's not for coffee, it's for the human interaction. The coffee run to talk at the coffee machine. So why change the way we pay for coffee, and why not change the way we act with coffees? The big thing is that we needlessly drink a lot of coffee. Maybe, how many times do you get coffee and it sits on your desk? You just went there to talk. Not to get coffee, but you were there, so why not get some? That's what we want to prevent. So we want to make the user aware that they are going to get coffee, not to get coffee, but to talk to someone, to have that human interaction, have a break in their work. Well, the reward is not coffee, it's that human interaction, and that's what we want to deliver. Again, human interaction. So what we want to do is, instead of having those people get some coffee and meanwhile also interact with anybody else, that should be changed around. The priority should be to communicate, to talk, and to talk about how your days are going instead of getting coffee. So we don't want to optimize the coffee machine, we want to replace it. Dat was hem. It's...
All right. Well, thank you so much to all of the students who participated today in the hackathon. We had such a blast. And now I'm handing over to Dries.
All right, moving on to the award pitches. So for the judges in front, this is the other award. This is the second prize. Okay, so I need to open my book because I forgot the names. Let's start off with shelter suit.
So I want you to imagine that you're in a situation where you realize that the smartphone battery is dead. And I want you to imagine how you might feel. So maybe you feel helpless all of a sudden, maybe you feel isolated. Or it's a cold winter's night, as we all know at this time, and you're standing outside your door and you're looking for your keys, you can't find them, but the only thing you can think of is getting inside and getting warm. So these two issues are magnified tenfold when you're a refugee that has fled from your homeland, or you are a citizen here living on the streets. At the highest emergency level, contacting friends and family becomes much more difficult because your smartphone doesn't have battery. And if you sleep outside, you are at high risk of life-threatening hypothermia. So we've teamed up with Shelter Suit Foundation to see how we can integrate technology into their product line. Shelter Suit Foundation makes these water and wind-resistant jackets with detachable sleeping bag, and they make them from donated materials from companies like ThingsCon. So the materials get donated and they make these bags, and they've distributed thousands of these to homeless people and refugees. And so, together with the student team, we developed the Urban Safety Kit, which is an upgraded shelter suit with integrated technology so that we can offer a high-value relief product to homeless individuals and refugees.
So, we addressed two key challenges. That was the medical safety of the user and the power access of the user. The power access comes from the solar panels that are attached to the bag. Then the energy is stored inside this power bank. And to charge your devices, also homeless and refugees, they do have laptops, they're just human. This is then, the bag is then not only the thing that we are produced, we also produced this jacket. And some of the energy goes to this sensor that detects shivering, heavy shivering, when somebody is cold, then sends an alarm to the bag in case of hypothermia. All right, so the design, my part. We made it so that it's inspired by a duffel bag and a suitcase to easily access, and also a sweet folding motion, you can see here, due to the solar panel folding action. It's easy to detach and for safekeeping to store inside the bag. or to attach to another bag. Right. So we did this project for several months now. We are now in the final stage, and I'm proud to say that we actually made some of these bags and sent them to Barcelona to test it out with our focus group, like homeless and for refugees. For still going on the research, but for now we know that the bag, the jacket, the solar panel, and the power bank are really a positive impact on their lives, and we get this sweet, positive feedback from them.
So lastly, we didn't develop this urban safety kit as a solution to homelessness, because that's a huge problem that we know that we can't solve alone, but we see it more as a band-aid to that problem. And at least we want to offer a product that gives a ladder towards a life with a home for the person. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Everything worked out with the slides in the meantime? You don't know? Okay, again, 3 minutes, and good luck.
I have a bit too much smart devices in my hand. I'm back. Well, oh shit, this is a bit more scary than downstairs. Hello, my name is Daphne. And as you might have heard, privacy is quite a hot topic. We have GDPR, we have creepy things like Cambridge Analytica. There are creepy stories coming up suddenly to the surface. Like, do you know the story of Erik Pas? Oh, I got something new to tell. Erik got arrested at an American airport in 2015. They thought he visited Jordan. Wasn't true, but his provider Vodafone put IP addresses there. So in February, I was having a coffee with my mentor, Martijn. And I asked him the question, Martijn, why do you like to collect data? And he was the right person to ask because he works for Google Chrome. Yeah, that was already funny. But whatever nasty question I asked him, I asked a lot, he kept telling me that he wants to use it to create nice, seamless user experiences. Yeah, that's all nice, but I don't want to believe in the future where being tracked is normal, so we had a problem there. And for my master thesis, I decided to go bananas on privacy. What can we do without? And I thought it would be funny to design for retail, because retail is the offline Facebook, right? It's all about tracking, neuromarketing. So my goal was to design something that supports retail, but doesn't track people. So imagine, it works. You are in Decathlon, a sports store, and you look for comfortable everyday shoes. And then you go to the running department and you find a quote on the wall that says, hey, you can also go to the basketball department because we have comfortable shoes there too with more ankle stability. And then in the middle of the walkways, just like IKEA pencils, you can pick up a compass and you can scan the barcode. And then the compass will lead you the way. So who's the judge? So the question is, how did I support privacy in this? This is what the judge is now looking at, probably. The location calculation works via Bluetooth beacons and on-device calculation, which basically means that it runs on real-time data and there's no technical need to save it. I chose for barcodes because barcodes is an existing infrastructure in shops, but also because IR scanners are obviously less privacy invading than cameras that you need for QR codes. Then why did I choose a compass? Well, that is because it invites for curiosity, for exploration, and that's what retailers want you to do. But also because it's very physical, that links to the physical identity of a shop. Everyone knows how to use it. And in case that there are hackers, I thought let's make the device shared and let's make it only used when you need it. So not from entrance to pay desk, so that at least the data set would be slightly less extensive. And I discussed it together with shoppers, but also with retailers, and the responses were surprisingly positive. Someone said, yeah, now you can physically scroll through a store. And someone else said, now we can know how this undeniable trend of privacy, how we can click onto that. But to be honest, I was super unconfident at the start of the process about how to design for this. But now I saw that it is apparently possible to design smart products that don't collect data, even in contexts like retail. So I developed quite a bold standpoint, and I said, yeah, designers should have the intention to not collect data. And that creates quite a bit of resistance. For example, there was the student team super mad at me because they were working for a client for the Arbodienst, the welfare service. And they said, yeah, they are working on their platform for years. You can't simply say they should stop collecting data. And I said, okay, what is your assignment? And they had to design something that collects more data of employees and that manipulates them into healthy habits. So I said, are you in for an experiment? Because with retail, I learned a bit about manipulation techniques. And I thought it would be funny to try them out on them. So that's what I advised them to do, and they did so. They profiled the client. To what arguments do they seem sensitive? And then they made a design that's exactly what they asked for. And then with this design, we looked for arguments against data collection that fit their profile. So obviously they were quite nervous before the start of the presentation, but at the end, the client simply said, yeah, sounds good. We can try this indeed. So yeah, that surprised us a little bit. And it made me reflect that obviously there's a lot of arguments for why it wouldn't be possible to design without data collection. We even, well, not here, but outside here, we seem to find it normal that technology is not in line with ethics. But I said to my mentor, Martijn, 2 weeks ago, yeah, but Martijn, what we find normal is not engraved in stone, huh? For once, we found it normal that children got physical punishment in school, or that women didn't have the right to vote. I said, maybe we shouldn't find this so normal anymore. And what else should we not find normal anymore? That technology is addictive, that it's run by monopolies. So my reflection on this is not only that we face ignorance to the possible harm that data can bring, but also that we mainly face the problem of preconceived ideas. Well, I'm super curious to your thoughts. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And then the third theme, Kahu.
Hey. So we are Kahu, we are Jesse and Philip. We are not the only one that produced this. We are mainly 4 people, but the time is running, so we have talked about death and how it affects everybody, and everybody knows what it is. It's when all that's left are only memories. In our research, we find out that that's it's not phases. Instead, they are grieving tasks that you have to solve to come back to your everyday life. These are adapt to the changes, understanding the reality, live through your feelings, and give the deceased a new place.
Okay, right. So that was the starting point. We looked at death and what does it do to teenagers, and we thought, how can we help? Death itself is, at least in our European society, a relative. The topic itself gets pushed away. It's not in the spotlight. Nobody wants to face it, but actually, you have to confront it to deal with it and to not hinder your own development, especially when you look at teens. So we wanted to create a device that makes the mindful remembering of the deceased more tangible, so you can actually, in your everyday life, take a step back and reflect and think of maybe your dead parents, your dead father or dead mother. We've got these 3 points that we wanted to solve. One, to feel close to the deceased, to encourage identification, that's especially important in a young age, and to create a physical space that's not so far away, like a graveyard, but actually in your own home, with the goal to make the way back to everyday life easier. All right, so we created a system of 2 devices. On the one hand, we have a bracelet that you can wear in everyday life, and we've got this shrine that you can actually put in your own home. How do these work? In the chest or the shrine, you can put everything that remembers you of your deceased loved one. So you can go back to it and take a look at it and just remember on your own time, in your own space. To open this chest, you have your bracelet that you can wear every day. The bracelet has 2 functions. One, you can open the shrine, and the other one is when you put your hand around it, you feel a soft vibration, though that in moments when you are overwhelmed by your own grief, you can calm down and just take a second and slow down your breathing. Now, the interesting thing that happens here is when you combine these both things. The bracelet also can shine, it has LEDs on it, and when you put it on the chest to open it, the light travels into the chest. So then you can take your time, think about the deceased, and after when you're finished, you can close it and again take the bracelet and go back to everyday life. And we wanted to create this connection that you have always this companion in your life that you can take a step back, put your hand on your wrist when you're overwhelmed by your feelings, and just have all these memories always with you and not feel alone. Yes, thank you.
So, thanks for all the presentations. Now the judges can go to some quiet space, have maximum half an hour, maybe a little bit sooner. And we will come back and announce the winners. And in the meantime, take some drinks and...
Thank you very much, all the students that we saw. Please, from all of you, give them a big round of applause for all the work they did. Yeah. We really loved sitting in front here and looking at all the progress that you made, both at the hackathon today and at the projects that you did back at your universities and your colleges. It's really impressive and really nice to see that so many people are taking this idea of responsible IoT and listening to that and thinking about that, talking to their professors and working on that, looking for problems and looking for solutions that fit with that. Definitely, that's a big takeaway from the sessions that we just had. So I'll be handing out the prizes for the hackathon today because we couldn't decide on a winner for the hackathon, so we split the prize in 2 and have like a first prize and a second prize now.
Overall, it's always so difficult to judge. Like it's so valuable, all the work you do. Even if it's one day of work, we know how it is. It's so much pressure. But...
So we loved 2 stories. Well, we loved all the stories, but we loved 2 stories in particular, and we couldn't really decide on which one was the best. There were 2 very similar stories, if you remember. And we liked one especially as the winner because they added extra elements to it, who built a nice model. No, I'm wrong. They're not the same systems.
So
no, yeah.
so
no, I'm wrong here. Yeah.
right. So two different challenges.
Two different challenges. Yeah. I'm confused. I'm sorry about that. So I'm first going to announce the runner-ups, right? Yeah. So as runner-up, we really love the story here. We really love the enthusiasm that was here on stage. We love that there was a first prototype out here. But let's give it up as runner-ups to the Coffee Love Stories. So we split up the prize. And they got congratulations to the three of you. Very nice what you done. I love the enthusiasm. So you got 250 euros. Congratulations on that.
Just stay here. It's okay. We make some. Stay here. Okay. You come back on stage later.
Okay, I'm confused as well now. All right, and then for the winners. I'm again confused again.
You're good. So I think so. The hackathon.
So we really loved what they accomplished here. If that's been done on a day, that's wow, that's really amazing. We loved a lot of the aspects and the extra stuff that was put into the model. A really nice presentation. I really definitely liked the idea of gamifying ecology. And we give that first prize to Blue Hive. Congratulations. That's really nice because they get double the amount of money, but they're also double the amount of participants.
We consider like you're a lot of people, but you actually had to manage this whole process, which is not easy. And we saw a lot of interesting points. Also a very nice prototype. And we thought it's also very responsible to give the choice to people. So you created awareness, but still didn't say what is right and wrong. Seemed like a good choice there.
Thank you.
Okay, and then we have the last prize. That is the IoT Student Award. And that was also very tough. We had a long discussion. We really appreciated the three proposals, but we had to choose one.
We're done thinking about responsible IoT, and who was thinking most about being responsible with respect to design, with respect to thinking about IoT. I think that was definitely in the end because we had a really difficult choice to make.
Yeah.
But please announce.
Yeah, so I think one of the last points that decided it was that the whole day we were talking about ethics and we were talking about this phrase of it's time for a system reboot. So we thought, why not really take the provocation? And I think it's for all of us. So we give the prize to retail and IoT. Congratulations.
Okay. It'd be nice to have the other winners also on stage.
Yeah.
And I thought Peter had also some extra prize. Where's Peter? No, there you are.
Oh.
What I don't know what it is.
I'm sorry, it was a last minute.
Please stay on stage.
It was a last minute prize, and today I was walking around a little in the basement, and one group they said we were a little bit afraid of technology. So I have a little prize for you. And it's good that there are three of you. Here you go. This is a little bit getting started with electronics. Here you go.
Congratulations. So let's have a final drink, and I hope you all see you back tomorrow at 9:30 something for the second day of ThingsCon 2018.